We have this homework problem here. Crown molding is a decorative trim installed over the joint between the walls of a room and the ceiling. It is similar to a baseboard, it's just at the top. There's no gaps. And since the doors don't go fully to the ceiling, right, we cover the whole edge of the room. Andy intends to install crown molding around the four sides of the room and the dining room. The dining room ceiling is a rectangle. Dimensions are 4 feet and 9 inches by 13 feet. And the crown molding is sold in 8-foot lengths, $24 for an 8-foot piece. And he wants to have 10% extra for waste when we cut at the corners. So first thing I would do in a problem like this is draw a picture of that ceiling. So I have some rectangle. So let's say here's my 13, 14.9 is just a little bigger than that. So the ceiling looks something like this, and then label those measurements in there. So we have 13 feet here and here, and then 14 feet. Let's see, we'll do that little mark for feet, and 9 inches. So feet and inches is kind of a bit of a problem. So it'd be best here to take that 14 feet and 9 inches and write it all in feet. So 9 inches is 9/12 of a foot. And let's see, 9/12 reduces a little bit. 3 goes at the top and bottom. 3/4 or 0.75. So this works out pretty nice. So 14.75 as that. So then the perimeter, so all around here, and then plus 10%. So perimeter is two edges here that are 14.75 feet, and then 2 that are 13 feet. So we need to calculate that and add them up. And then we want 10% more. So I'm going to add 10% to that. Trick for adding 10%. If we start with something and then we add on 10% of that, 10% as a decimal is 1/10, or 10 out of 100, 1/10. It's easy to write. We can kind of clean that up a little bit. So we're going to get whatever we started with times 110%. So once I get that perimeter, I'm just going to take that amount, whatever it is, and multiply it by 110%. 100 being the original amount, and then 10% is that extra right there. So calculator, let's get both those numbers. So we have 2 times 14.75, and always write down a calculation before you plug it into your calculator. And 2 at 13. Oops. All right, so that gives us 55.5 feet total as we move around the room. And then we want to add on that 10% to that. So the easy way to do that is just multiply by 1.1, 110%. That gives me 61.05 is the new amount. We'll double check that in a second. So my perimeter plus 10% is 60.05 feet. And the slow way to make that calculation is just to take that 55.5, multiply it by 10%, and then add that number, oops, not multiply, add that number back onto the 55.5, and you can still see we get that same number we had before. Wrong there. Check that on my calculator just to be sure. $61. So classic mistake we all make as humans is miscopying a number. So that's the amount of perimeter that I need to work with. The next thing I need to do is figure out how many boards I need. And each board is 8 feet. So I want to see how many 8-foot sections live in there. So how many 8-foot boards? So that means I have to take that 61.05, right, with the extra 10%, that's feet, divide by a board is 8 feet, and that'll tell me how many boards. So this says I need more than 7 boards, so I'm gonna have to round that up to 8. So that's about 7.6 boards, and they're not gonna let me just grab 6/10 of a board, so I'm gonna have to say that's really 8 boards. And then the last thing was to include the tax on this one, and I believe the tax was 9.4%. So kind of like tacking on the extra 10%, we can use the same trick or do it the slow way. So the quick way to do this is to say, all right, I have 8 boards. They are $24 each. And then I want to multiply by 1.094. So the 100% is my original amount, and then the 94% is the tax. So we'll do that 2 different ways. Make sure we got the right number. So I need 8 boards times $24 per board. That gives me $192. And then we'll write that down. And my claim is that if I multiply that by 1.094, that gives me the total plus the tax. 192 plus the extra tax. And we'll do that both ways to check. So multiply that by 1.094. So it should be to the nearest cent, $210.05. Just double check we got that tax right. So they gave me 94%. Percent, remember, means divide by 100 per cent. So if I take that 9.4 and divide it by 100, there's that, oops, not multiply by 100, let's try that again. Divide by 100, there's that, why do I keep doing that? One more time, 3rd time's the trick here, right? Divide by, there we go, 100, there's the 0.094, that's the tax amount. Before taxes, it was $192. That means just the tax is $18.05. And if I add that back onto the 192, just the boards, not multiply. Button pushing problems. So 0.9094 times 192. I'm going to get it right this time. There's the tax. Add that on to my 192. And there's that 210.05 we got before. So it's kind of a nice trick when we have to add on a certain percentage amount for any particular reason. So this definitely works out as the amount he has to pay there. Hope you found this helpful. Take care. Do good math. Bye-bye.